For our next segment, we have some questions that were from the audience. First question is for Mr. Manners. And the writer of this question wants you to respond to the statement. Our city has stayed in the black through this financial crisis under the helm of Mayor Mavis. They would like you to respond to that statement.
As a business owner, staying in the black is a very big statement. You could be staying in the black, but I want you to know that 90% of all businesses fail after their best year. So being in the black doesn't necessarily mean you're headed in the right direction. It means that you've got some things that have been going on well, but you've got to prepare and plan. Realize that without a plan, pro and against, in other words, you need to plan if everything goes perfect. What are we going to do with that money? Where's it going to go? You know, most cities, my father was a state trooper, so when you talk to communities and how they spend their money, I remember when Davis Betsy went in, and everybody was scrambling, oh, we get to spend all this money. My high school actually thought it was coming there, and they went crazy, drawing up these huge plans. But you got to plan carefully at how you're going to spend that money if it comes in, so that it's for the best going forward in the future. How is this going to be productive going down the road? Okay? That's what a business does. And you also have to prepare on the other side of that coin. What if it goes the other way? How are we going to handle that? Do we have a plan in place to deal with a 25% revenue loss? Are we going to stay healthy? Are we going to take care of our citizens? Are we still going to be able to meet our goal to keep things moving and market ourselves and come back from this? Those are hard questions, and you have to put firm plans in place. That you've got to plan for both sides of that coin. So we've been in the black. Absolutely. We've had factories and businesses that have done well in our community and have helped us greatly in that. The question is, did we do with that black money the best things we could to prepare for the future? That's what you have to ask yourself. Where's that money being spent? How it's being spent? And is it the best thing going forward? Like I said, most businesses will fail, get caught with their pants down, for lack of a better way of saying it, when things are going good. Because they didn't plan for the future, and they get a hiccup in the road, and it takes them. Thank you.
Mr. Mavis from the audience, if we are concerned with enforcing Mountain Vernon City laws and ordinances, why are businesses not having to comply with the M1A zoning codes concerning mounting, setbacks, signage, cutoff lighting, etc.?
So everybody understands the difference between heavy manufacturing and M1A. Rolls-Royce has been here forever, and they are heavy manufacturing. The original industrial park, heavy manufacturing. Other areas around there that were annexed in the property the south of the industrial park came in. The Adams property, which is where Mount Vernon Steel is located, First Knox National, where Dr. Shea was going to put his, that was called the Adams property, and all that became M1A. And during that process, council heard from not only people in the city, which were not many, but they heard from a lot of people in the township south of the area concerned about how much light was going to be emitting from the parking lots, how much traffic and noise would be created. So we began to look at alternatives. Now I have to admit, it sounds to me like the writer of the question lives in that area, and I have to admit that I thought that we were meeting that. We look at lighting, we look at those other areas. So, because the question has been asked, when I go back to the office, I will pursue that. I would like to say one thing, if I might, if I haven't overstayed my welcome. The city is driven by 1.5% income tax. I can have 1 minute. That's what drives us. We've been fortunate to have the job. In the heat of the recession, Rolls-Royce hired 150 people. Ariel was able to keep 1,000 of their people. We had some good things happening. One of the things with Rolls-Royce, and you have to, as a leader, you have to keep abreast of this. Rolls-Royce, there's no secret, was thinking about moving 300-400 jobs out of the city of Mount Vernon. The city was panicking. But we were doing things to help defer that. One of the things that you all saw in the newspaper, they just moved 3 of the largest units ever shipped out of the city of Mount Vernon. And because of that, we're now working with them to establish a full-time route out Chestnut Street, around the corner there, in order to more easily get to the river to put those units on barges. So all of the units, large or small, will have a route. We'll be working with ODOT, working with Rolls-Royce, working with their leadership to make that a more convenient route. Those are the things you do to keep jobs in your community. The first job is to retain jobs. Second is bringing new ones.